All right, and up next, let's set up the global styles for our application. So in order to build this project, we're going to use styled components because that's my preference when setting up the CSS. However, I also prefer setting up global styles. And essentially that is a CSS that I take from project to project. Now, in order to set everything up, we want to navigate to the assets. Again, hopefully you have all of the folders. So the CSS, images, and wrappers. If you don't, please rewatch the previous video and follow along with the steps. And here we're looking for the index CSS, which is sitting in the CSS. Now, this is totally up to you. If you want to move the index CSS to the source one, that's totally an option. Or you can simply copy and paste, which I think is going to be my approach. So I'll navigate to the index CSS in the assets. I'll pretty much select everything. I'll copy, and then I'll navigate back to the index CSS in the source, and I'll paste all of the code over here. And as you can see over here, we have root, and inside of the root selector, I have all the CSS variables that I use, and also there's a bunch of styles that I just apply to the entire application and take from project to project. And effectively, this type of setup just saves me time on the CSS I need to type, because I don't need to start everything from scratch each and every time. And I also noticed that it allows me to type less lines of CSS. So basically, because of these global styles that I have, whenever I do need to apply the CSS, since most of the CSS is already taken care of, I need to type way less lines of code. And as a result, since I don't have to set up everything from scratch and I can type less lines of CSS whenever I do need to style something, of course, it tremendously speeds up the development. Now, if you have any questions about these specific styles, please reference this video where essentially I cover how I set up such global CSS from the very scratch. And this basically leads back to my YouTube channel, Coding Addict. And again, you're looking for this video. Now there's also a repo where you can find the global styles that I use from project to project. And at the very end, I'm going to move README, so README markdown file, to the source. Again, if you want to leave it in assets, that's totally up to you. In my case, I'm just going to move it and set it up over here in the root of the client. And once we have the global styles in place, notice we'll have a different look. Basically, we have some background color, and also our heading right now is smaller. And now we're ready to move on to the next step.